When a man who dominates by prayer is praying, one of the things that he catches from the realm is the voice of Yahweh. The reason is because dominion hinges on the voice of God. The walls were created by the word of God. So when that man is praying, he's seeking the proceeding word of God. He wants to pick what the Father is saying, so he can be there for 3 days. His goal is not to come back and make a doctrine of 3 days non-stop prayer. His goal is to wait until God speaks. So while he's praying, if God have not spoken, he may be there for 14 days, because the prayer will not stop until God speaks. Now, the reason we teach people to tarry for long in prayer is not to brag about it. It's so that they can develop stamina in order not to stop before God speaks. Because if they stop before God speaks, they wasted their time. If you don't have stamina and you are praying with Elijah, after the third time you may go. I'm saying this now because there are those who will hear and say, we said it, all this long prayer, 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours, we know it's flesh. That's not what we are saying. That training is necessary, because there are many times you want to create change that it will take 72 hours for God to speak. So if you have not trained yourself on 14 hours prayers non-stop, you will not be able to wait until the voice of God comes. And what will create the change is not the prayer. What will create the change is the feedback that comes from heaven. And so prayer is the way of creating that gangway for that voice to come, because the voice of God is upon many waters. The voice of God is full of majesty. The Bible said the voice of God thundered it. He divided the flames of fire. He said he discovered the forest. He causes the hind to calve. Even creation itself is sustained by the voice of God. And so when a man wants to create dominion without every contradiction, he will lock himself away and pray until God speaks. This is what Elijah knew. He knew that the darkness on the territory, only a change that is supernatural can judge the heart of the king. So he showed up and said, before God whom I stand, there shall be no rain or dew except at my word. After he finished saying it, he knew that if God doesn't veto it, there is problem. So Elijah would have been on that mountain for 1 week. Hope you know, Moses was waiting for the voice of God, and he waited for 40 days and 40 nights. He didn't go there with the intention of beating 40 days and 40 nights. He went there to wait on the voice of God, and until God speaks, nothing changes. Because the way to engender dominion is when God begins to talk. If God is not speaking into your life, you'll be in trouble.